good day to you. Blessings to all of you, my friends, especially those of you from all over who communicate with me. Send me your comments, and I really appreciate that. I try to also fulfill all the special requests that are sent to me, and as a result of a few of those, we're going to do a dish, something called Shami Kebab. Now, Shami Kebab, it's a kebab. It's a round patty that we make with meat. Either meat, it could be mutton, it could be beef, it could be chicken. My vegetarian friends can try the recipe with a different version. You can use veggie meat, protein meat. You get the high protein veggie meat, or you can try very hard extra firm tofu. But it's called Shami Kebab. Now, the reason quite possibly is that Sham is evening, and evening meals all over are the special meals, the more festive meals, and the heavier meals. And this is a very special dish which is served on special occasions. It's not a dish, it's just kebabs. The only kebab that we do, which is pre-cooked, the meat is pre-cooked, and then we form the patties, and then we pre-cook the meat, we grind it, and then we form the patty and we fry it. So probably the reason we call it Shami Kebab, because it is a festive dish. We're going to start with a finished version of it. I cooked half the meat, like one recipe is cooked, and this is now ready to grind. This is the Shami Kebab, beef Shami Kebab, ready to grind. I'll tell you what to do if you're using chicken. Now, I'll leave this aside, and we're going to start doing a basic version right from the start. Now, this is a pan, cooking pan, better than non-stick, so because we're not using any oil in this. Now, we start with this. This is 1 pound or half kilo. 1 pound, remember 1 pound is less than half a kilo. Half kilo is it's 2.2 pounds to a kilo. So when the recipe says half kilo, it really doesn't matter, a little bit here and there, but this is a little over 1 pound of beef. I cut it into cubes. As you can see, I'm not going to handle the meat with my hand because I'm going to do other things, but this is it, about half-inch cubes. You can also do it with a mince meat, but the result doesn't come out so good, so I do it. Now, this is half cup of chana dal, gram dal, lentils that you can get in the Asian stores. You can also buy them sometimes in the local markets, but this is it. Chana dal, gram dal, half cup soaked for about half an hour to 1 hour in a glass of water. One glass or 2 cups of water. These are 2 onions, sliced onions, 2 red onions. The white onions most of the time are sweet, and we're going to cook it raw. We're not frying it, so try to use the red onions. This is about 2 to 3 tablespoons of chopped garlic. I use about 7 to 8 cloves. This is about 2 inches of ginger, 2-inch piece of ginger, just sliced. These are chilies. Now, this is where it becomes spicy and hot. These are those dried red chilies. I have about 7 of them here. I'm just going to break them and put them in there. Now, if you want it more spicy, add more. If you don't, then just don't. This is a bay leaf. Mine broke, 1 whole bay leaf. These are about 10 pieces of black pepper, about 8 to 10 pieces of cloves, 2 pieces of cinnamon, about an inch. Now, these are 2 black cardamoms, big cardamom, black cardamom, and these are about 10 pieces of green cardamoms. As you can see, there's a lot of spices, and all whole spices. Don't use anything grind, because that's where the taste comes from. This is white cumin, zira as we call it, 1 full teaspoon. And this is a full teaspoon, heaped teaspoon of whole coriander seed, whole. Everything whole. And like we all forget, I did forget the salt, so I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt here. This is a teaspoon of salt, and what we are going to do is we're going to mix it really well. Now this is where what is very important for you is to mix it really, really well. I'm going to put it on the stove here for you, my friends, and we're adding more water. The more water, the better. So basically for the beef, we are going to add 3 to 4 cups of water, or I'd say about 4 cups, minimum of 4 cups. As you noticed, I used all this water plus the water from the dal, from soaking the dal. Now we're going to let this boil. Meanwhile, we'll get to our grinding, and this is for the finishing. I'm going to mix this once I've ground the meat, and this is some rice flour for those of you who don't like to use egg. Otherwise, for our binding, we are going to use the egg. So without further delay, we are going to start grinding our meat. Any grinder that you have at home that you use for grinding meat, you're going to, if you notice, it's nicely done and mixed. And do not dry it too much, because if you dry it, your kebabs will be very dry. To keep my kebabs moist, I have to make sure that I leave this a little damp. Take it off when it's still a little wet, because if there's a little water, your dal is going to continue to soak water. So let me just grind this first, and then we'll start ground this meat now. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to grind the meat, depending on the speed of your grinder and your speed, and plus the amount of meat. Now I am just going to, most of my spices are ground within. Whatever is whole, we are now going to discard. Now what I want to remind my friends is that whenever you're using your hands in the kitchen, they have to be nice and clean. Also, we have to mind our hair when we are doing this kind of cooking, because one of your saddest moments are when you're eating out, dining out, whether with some friends or in a restaurant, is to find a piece of random hair in your food. It's very sad. So the best way to do is to prevent that, and especially when we are cooking in our own kitchens for our families, we have to be very careful. So clean hands, and this is it now. This is the kebab. I am going to add egg. A lot of us don't like egg, have allergies, have problems. Then you can add rice flour. Either you can mix it to your thing, or you can just coat the patties lightly. But I like the egg, and because I do freeze this. These are excellent to freeze and to use as sandwiches, as meals, packed meals. You can use them in sandwiches, in burger, in hamburger. Use the burger buns. Use any kind of bread. Make rolls with a lot of lettuce. It's a very healthy meal. Now it depends on you how much you like to fry it. Some people deep fry. I shallow fry. Take very little oil in a non-stick pan. So it's really not a very fatty food. For my friends who are going to try with chicken, you will half cook the remaining ingredients before you add the chicken cubes. Now let me wash my hands and get back to my, we had started cooking a new batch, and this is it. Now we have to make sure we mix it very well, because if it's not properly mixed, then the meat is not going to catch all the taste. We need our meat nice and tasty and spiced. So once it's boiling, once there's a rolling boil, we are also going to cover it and let it cook. Now, depending on this should take, once it's boiling and you cover it or leave it half uncovered, it should take about 30 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes. Once again, depending on the heat. Now this is my pan preheated with oil, and we are going to just mix our, this is again optional. If you like, we like a lot of greens in our food. So I'm just going to add a little, this is cilantro, as we call dhania, hara dhania, cilantro, wonsoy leaves, fresh wonsoy leaves, and we're going to add a little chopped chili, green chili. Mine use some of the green chilies in the local markets, can be very spicy, very hot, so it's again according to your taste. Now this is it, it's mixed, and we're just going to make some kebabs and finish up our recipe for today. Size again is depending on how you like it. I'm going to add the remaining egg so that they stay nice and firm and formed and don't break. Our kebabs are ready. You just have to be careful if the meat is soft. For those of you who feel they can't handle, just try it a little more. Now on medium heat, medium to high heat, 3 minutes on each side, 3 to 4 minutes. 3 minutes is enough because you know that this is not raw meat. This is the benefit of the Shami Kebab, that your meat is cooked, so it's safe. These are our Shami Kebabs. Now I will continue to fry these with half a kilo, the amount that I used, 1 pound, a little over 1 pound. You can make about 20 pieces. I have 4 here, 4, and I think I can go for another 12 pieces there. Now this is the serving suggestion for my Shami Kebab. A dish, a platter of salad, you serve the kebabs on it, make some nice dal. We have already given a recipe for a dal, we'll give some more later, different kinds of dal. This is rice, a very nice evening meal for the family. Let's just go back to this for a second. It continues to cook. Make sure you put enough water, not too much. About 4 cups of water for beef. If you're making chicken, 2 cups is enough. If you're cooking chicken, you're going to start cooking the dal and all the spices, and after 15 minutes you're going to add the chicken cubes again. Best meat is thigh, because thigh is equivalent to the red meat in chicken. Use chicken, thigh, cubes, same amount, but add 15 minutes later and your Shami Kebabs will turn out the same. Enjoy and let me know. Thank you.